Hey friends, it's January and it's time to try our hand at winter sowing. So I have the seeds over here and I'll bring you in and show you what we're doing. And I looked them all up to make sure, and you can winter sow all of them. And then we have this little cupcake container that I washed out. And we'll put dirt in each individual one, and it'll be easy to keep them separate and label them. And then stick it outside and just make sure it stays moist throughout the winter. And see what happens. Probably maybe March, April when it starts warming up, and see how it goes. I'm excited to try it. So I have Miracle Grow potting mix here, and I got a new toy. It's a sieve to try to get the clumps out, and we'll have super soft, lofty soil right here, and then we'll wet it and then throw it in here. Try not to make a mess. Okay, that helped get a lot of chunks out. Some of these are pretty big pieces of wood. I didn't realize there were so many chunks in here, so I'm glad I have this sieve now. It's freezing outside right now. It's raining. We're actually supposed to get like a huge snowstorm tonight. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I got it a little too wet. Let me get a little bit more potting mix in here real quick. Okay, good enough. That's better. All right, those are filled. Good to go here. There are no drainage holes, so I'm going to keep the lid on them while they're outside, and I'll just water them by hand instead of relying on the rain. Let's come over here to our seeds. Some amaranth. Oh, actually, I forgot to look up that one to see if we can winter sow it. But we can winter sow violas, snapdragons, and pansies and petunias we can winter sow. And bachelor buttons. And echinacea we can winter sow, calendula, balloon flower. Evan picked those out. So we're going to see if we can grow them for him. Let's get started. Amaranth, 1/4 inch depth. So what we're going to do is actually just sprinkle them. That's really heavily. These seeds are kind of old though, and the germination's not very high on these amaranth seeds anyways. So I said 1/4 inch depth, but we're actually just going to do that and just kind of cover the area, and that'll be good enough. Bachelor button, 1/4 inch. Trying to spread them out. These seeds are also a little old. They're a few years old, so they might not all germinate anyways. Viola Tiger Lata, 1/4 inch, or surface sow. Surface sow. Viola Lata Fire, surface sow. Johnny Jump Up Violas. It says 1/8 inch, but I'm going to surface sow. We'll go a little heavily since these seeds, not all of my seeds are a little old, but some of them are, and these ones are. So a little heavier. And then boom. Echinacea purple cone flower, 1/4 inch deep. Brushstroke viola pansies, surface sow. Also, we will separate all the seedlings, or at least I intend to, in the spring. Once they've got their first set of true leaves or so, we'll try to do that, and then plant them out where we want them. Probably in the landscaping for all of these, probably. And if we have good luck, that'll save me a lot of money, because I won't have to buy flowers or seeds. These seeds are all 1 to 2, maybe even 3 years old. Purple balcony petunias and surface sow. These seeds are so tiny. I can't even see them. Calendula, 1/4 inch. Calendula are so easy to plant because you can just throw them out in the landscape and they germinate. I had them all over landscape and the backyard actually to attract the aphids. And hopefully the aphids would be on them instead of other things. Like the aphids really liked my grape plant, so I wanted them on the calendula instead. But yeah, these are super duper easy. But this is kind of like an experiment. I just want to see how well they do. And so we're going to give them one little cupcake hole in here and see. A snapdragon mix. Surface sow. So many of these seeds are surface sow that I actually just tossed them out in the landscaping like last spring just to see what would happen. And I didn't pull anything because I wasn't familiar with how all the seedlings looked, so I didn't know if a weed was coming up or one of my seedlings. So we just let everything grow in the landscaping to see what would happen. And we didn't have like a huge rate. Actually, that was not this last spring. That was the spring before. This last spring we planted petunias, but the spring before that. And we had a few snapdragons come up. And so that was pretty cool, but not nearly as many as I was hoping. So surface sowing can work, just toss it out, just not going to work that well. So we're going to try to control the environment a little bit more by doing it this way. The balloon flower Evan picked out, and surface sow for this as well. The seed packet on the balloon flower says cold stratify, so this is definitely a good one to winter sow because it has to be freezing anyways. So I think this will work really, really well. Lavender, do surface sow. Bilberry, surface sow seeds in the fall to cold stratify. So we're going to surface sow these. Echinacea we saved, and the other echinacea was a 1/4 inch. So we'll do these a 1/4 inch. Unknown seeds that I put in this little, I put it in here and put it on the grow station to dry out and save for later. And I always think I'm going to remember, like, I know what that is. I know, like, where I got it, when I got it, blah, blah, blah. No, I do not remember. And chances are I won't. So we're just going to plant them and see what pops up. Pretty sure they're from the landscape. So we can safely assume that at least. And because of the look of the seed, I'm going to assume 1/4 inch. All right, we'll say our prayers for these two. Snapdragon seeds are the little tiny specks at the bottom of the bowl. These are saved from the landscaping. I took them from dead flowers, or like dried up flowers. And we'll surface sow them just like the other snapdragons, which happen to be right here, right in front of it. Another landscape flower that I cannot find the seed packet for because I keep all of my seed packets. I just have a pile of like empty ones so I can refer back to them. So we're just going to take the seeds off the flower. You can see what I'm doing. And plant them. This is an experiment because I'm saving my own seeds, so I'm just going to trust the process and hope that these grow for us. There's a bunch of debris mixed in. So we're just going to plant them all. Cover with a little bit. I don't know if these are surface sow or 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, I don't know. So we'll just do a little bit. Last one for this row is chamomile we saved. I went ahead and did all balloon flowers because they are hardy perennials. So I thought that was great. And they get 2 to 3 feet tall, so they're actually substantial little plants. I hope this inspires you to do your winter sowing. This is super dusty because I've been holding on to it for a year just for something like this. I've been holding on to it, so glad to finally use it. And if it works, which I have high hopes, so if it does work out well, I'm just going to save it and do this again every year. And I won't have to buy any from the store to plant and make pretty up front. Oh, okay, last thing we're going to do though. We're not done yet. We're going to do a jug. If you have, this is vinegar jug, if you have clear milk jugs or water jugs or whatever jugs, then let me think. I think I'll just cut it here. Try to cut a straight line anyways. We want to cut it enough to where it stays attached, but we can open it like a hinge, make a hinge. That'll work. Oh, still, I gotta rinse it out again. I thought I rinsed it out already. It smells like vinegar. Okie doke. Got that rinsed out. Good thing we had a little bit of dirt left over. This will be the amount I use in here. And that'll work. And just push it down. And that's plenty. That's enough dirt in there. Okay, so this I got from the Dollar Tree last year. This is something else I also tried to sprinkle. Like I sprinkled so many seeds all over the landscaping, and some of them didn't even come up until this spring, like a whole year later. They sat there through the spring, summer, fall, winter, and came up again came up in the spring. And so a lot of them need cold stratification, but it doesn't tell you that. Anywho, my point is germination was terrible, extremely terrible. So we're going to put it in a controlled environment and pretty heavily. It's mixed with stuff like vermiculite. The seeds are all mixed in. Oh, I see some calendula. All different kinds of things in there. I'll bring you in close and show you. So I'll just try to even it out a bit. There's a lot of seed in there. This is also old seed, so I have no idea how much is going to come up. And then we can just pull them apart and separate them into just chunks and just plant chunks of seed mixture throughout the landscaping as well. Landscaping's not huge, so I am growing more than I would need to plant out there, but we don't know what germination is going to be like and how things are going to work out. So you always plant, or you always start more than you actually need, because not everything's going to work out. Not everything's going to germinate or grow and not die after it's grown. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to top this with a little bit of dirt. This is dried dirt, but it's all right. A squirt bottle. I'll squirt that more in a sec, because I got to get that moist and push down a little bit and then actually water it. I forgot to water these or spray these down. Give me a sec. So spraying will help on the surface sowed ones. It'll help kind of like settle them. I can see as I spray, things are settling down. So this will help make contact between the seed and the soil, potting mix, whatever, and help with germination. Since the lid is on them, they won't dry out very quickly, but I'll still check on them regularly, maybe once a week, I don't know. So come back, subscribe and like and all that. Come back in the spring, and we'll definitely be doing an update video on these and planting out whatever successfully works. So fingers crossed, prayers made that this is all a success. I'm going to grab some tape and tape this up next. Ouch. All right, I gotta go find some tape. I don't know where it is. All right, I know this is not going to work long term, or it might, but painter's tape, wide tape. I'm not sure where the duct tape is. It might work, who knows? I'm gonna keep the cap off, so that way I can water this. Just put water in there like that whenever I water these. All right, we're gonna go put these outside together now in the backyard. This is where they'll go. On the table, if you've been here with me for a while, you'll know it's just a table I keep in the backyard with a garden for stuff like this and holding stuff and doing things. So thanks for being here. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching and thanks for being here. And feel free to like and subscribe and check back in the spring and see how everything does. This is an experiment for me and I have high hopes. So I'm excited for it. So I'll see you later and have a great day. Bye.